Before she was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol, did Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador make amends with her ex-boyfriend John Janssen? It appeared as though they had reached the end of their relationship when that episode took place. However, the mother of three is now presenting a different account of the events. The question is, what exactly is going on? And what does Alexis Bellino, who is John's present girlfriend, have to say about it? Continue reading for further information. John Janssen and Shannon Beador, both of RHOC pre-DUI conflict resolved. Throughout the entirety of the 17th season of Real Housewives of Orange County, Shannon Beador struggled with her relationship with John Janssen. She asserted that the reason they had so many issues was due to the fact that he was a very private person. Despite the fact that it caused her a great deal of mental pain, she would turn to drink and her friends as a means of coping with it. According to the allegations, her co-stars asserted that Shannon would call them late at night to vent, but when confronted about this, Shannon angrily denied that this was the case. When the time came for the reunion, the pair had already broken up and had reached the end of their relationship with one another. Shannon was taken into custody for driving under the influence of alcohol shortly after the reunion. At the same moment, John was observed carrying Shannon to the doctor for treatment of the injuries she sustained as a result of the accident. It was revealed to the audience in the first episode of season 18 that he had insulted her on the night of the DUI. In addition, he pointed out that she was intoxicated, and for some reason, she believed that she could drive, but she was unable to do so. Within 2 months, he was seeing Alexis Bellino, a former reality show star who is now a friend of his. In light of the fact that he detested her for being in the public eye, Shannon is perplexed by the fact that they are very public. On the other hand, Shannon is now going to reveal that she and John had reconciled prior to John's DUI. Shannon Beador is quoted as saying, "For approximately 6 months, he dated someone else and I dated someone else, but after that, we reconnected." This is according to People, which published her account of the events that transpired up to that fatal night. Following a period of 3.5 years of collaboration, the duo parted ways in the latter half of 2022. They ceased communication, but in March of 2023, things began to pick up again, but they did not utter a single word. "Both of us told everyone, no, we're not back together. But we were acting as if we were back together." Shannon admitted that she did not believe that they believed it would work this time around, which is the reason for the silence. "I believe that both he and I were aware, on some level, that it was never going to be successful. Consequently, I would not say that we were back together in public, but you could say that we were together in private for around half a year." Alexis Bellino, John's new girlfriend who has returned to Real Housewives of Orange County, also disagrees with this assertion. John and Alexis explain their perspective. John Janssen has his own interpretation of the state of their relationship, despite the fact that Shannon Beador has provided her account of what she believes occurred. "Several months after our breakup, I attempted to form a friendship with Shannon. We both privately agreed and publicly announced that there was never any intention to pick up where we left off in our relationship. When it comes to the circumstance, any idea that we were back together as a relationship is an inaccurate portrayal of the situation. Consequently, in his opinion, they were nothing more than pals, and Alexis Bellino has also expressed her opinion on her Instagram account. She has republished the story because she is under the impression that Shannon is obsessed with John. In addition to this, she is of the opinion that Shannon is conspiring with John and Alexis in order to escape taking responsibility for her arrest. The comments that were made on Alexis's post were disabled. Do you think that Shannon and John were back together, or do you think that it was more of a situation where they were friends with additional benefits? Would it be best for Alexis to avoid becoming involved? For Real Housewives of Orange County fans, the roller coaster relationship between Shannon Beador and her ex-boyfriend John Janssen has been a saga filled with twists, heartbreak, and speculation. Their breakup, public tension, and Shannon's highly publicized DUI arrest in late 2023 left viewers wondering if this was truly the end of their chapter together. But now, whispers in Orange County suggest something unexpected, that Shannon and John may have reconciled, at least briefly, before the DUI incident changed everything. The possibility raises questions. Did Shannon's renewed closeness with John play a role in the chaos that followed? Was her DUI arrest a dramatic turning point that unraveled what might have been a rekindling romance? And more importantly, where does their story go from here? The breakup that wasn't so final. When John Janssen ended things with Shannon after nearly 4 years together, the breakup was described as blindsiding. Shannon, who had spoken openly about how deeply she loved him, was devastated. Fans remember her emotional confession on Watch What Happens Live, where she admitted she hadn't seen it coming. John, on the other hand, kept a low profile, leaving Bravo watchers to piece together the narrative. But as is often the case with housewives romances, over doesn't always mean over. Sources close to the couple claimed they continued communicating privately even after their official split. They were spotted together at quiet dinners in Newport Beach, appearing less like exes and more like a couple testing the waters again. John has always been a comfort zone for Shannon, one insider shared. Even when they weren't officially together, they never fully let go of each other. The pre-DUI timeline. Shannon's DUI in September 2023 shocked not only the Bravo world, but also her friends and co-stars. Crashing her car into a house and then attempting to walk her dog to disguise the incident became headline news. Shannon later admitted she was deeply ashamed and immediately sought counseling. But behind the headlines, some wondered if John was quietly back in her orbit before that chaotic night. Reports suggest the pair had been seen together just weeks before the arrest, rekindling sparks during a low-key dinner with friends. She looked happier than she had in months, one witness recalled. Shannon and John were laughing, touching each other's arms. It felt like old times. Honestly, you'd never guess they weren't together. Could this reconnection have contributed to the emotional whirlwind Shannon was in at the time of her DUI? Some speculate that Shannon's roller coaster dynamic with John, full of passion but also volatility, may have influenced her state of mind. Shannon's emotional confessions. On RHOC Season 17, Shannon repeatedly struggled with how much to reveal about her personal life. She admitted to confiding in a select few about the troubles with John, but often felt ambushed when other women brought up the relationship on camera. "I wanted to protect what we had," Shannon explained in a confessional. "But maybe I was protecting myself from the truth too." When rumors of reconciliation began surfacing post-DUI, Shannon neither confirmed nor denied them directly. Instead, she hinted at the lingering bond with John. "When you love someone that deeply, you don't just shut it off overnight," she told a friend. "There are always pieces of your heart that stay connected." John Janssen's silence. While Shannon has been candid, sometimes to her own detriment, John has remained a man of few words. His silence fuels speculation more than anything else. Was he quietly supporting Shannon in the days leading up to her arrest? Was he offering comfort in private while staying out of the spotlight? Interestingly, John did show up later at Shannon's side during legal proceedings, sparking another round of questions about their relationship status. Some fans believe his presence was proof of ongoing affection, while others dismissed it as a gesture of friendship or guilt. The friends' reactions? The women of RHOC have never been shy about weighing in on Shannon's love life. Tamra Judge, ever the pot stirrer, hinted that Shannon still had unresolved feelings for John long after the breakup. Emily Simpson went a step further, voicing concerns that Shannon's attachment to John was preventing her from moving forward. Heather Dubrow, in her usual polished fashion, took a more diplomatic stance. It's not my place to judge, but I just hope Shannon is making choices that are healthy for her. Behind the scenes, however, several housewives reportedly rolled their eyes at the idea of reconciliation. It's a cycle, one said. They're on again, off again, and Shannon just can't quit him. Fans theorize, love or habit. Bravo fans, who dissect cast members' lives with forensic attention, are divided. Some argue that Shannon and John are simply meant to be, that their connection, no matter how messy, proves they can't stay apart. Others warn that Shannon's pattern of clinging to John reflects more of a dependency than a true partnership. One fan tweet summed it up: "If Shannon and John did reconcile pre-DUI, that explains a lot. But girl, sometimes love isn't worth the wreckage." Where do they stand now? As of mid-2024, Shannon insists she's focused on healing and accountability. Her sobriety journey, community service, and therapy have reshaped her outlook. But questions about John linger. Some insiders say they maintain a friendship, while others whisper they're seeing where things go. Shannon herself dropped a telling line during a recent Q&A: "John will always be in my life in some way." Fans immediately dissected the remark, wondering if it was a breadcrumb for a future reconciliation or simply an acknowledgement of shared history. The bigger picture. The possibility that Shannon and John reconciled before her DUI adds another layer to her already complicated story. It underscores the way personal struggles and relationships can intertwine with public personas in the Bravo world. For Shannon, who has battled insecurities, divorce, and now public humiliation, John represents both comfort and chaos. Whether their bond is true love, unfinished business, or simply habit, it's undeniable that John Janssen continues to loom large in Shannon Beador's life, even when she claims otherwise. Final thoughts. So, did Shannon Beador and John Janssen reconcile pre-DUI? The answer may never be fully clear. But in the Bravo universe, where every look, whisper, and Instagram like is analyzed, the possibility feels almost inevitable. What's certain is that Shannon's story remains one of the most compelling on RHOC. From vulnerable breakdowns to wild scandals, she embodies the messy humanity that keeps viewers hooked. And as long as John's name hovers in the background, fans will continue to speculate, debate, and pour another glass of wine while they watch it all unfold. For now, one thing is undeniable: Shannon and John's love story, whether rekindled or not, remains unfinished in the eyes of Bravo Nation.